Vibration and frequency is the foundation of the universe and existence, and all that we perceive and all that we experience. And I'm going to show you a couple of things about vibration and frequency that I involve in my life. And while I'm doing this, I am shaking up some cocoa powder with coconut water, and I'm also going to mix that with some coconut milk that is also mixed with protein powder, right? And so what you see before you are two CDs, Theta Meditation, and you'll also see the Gamma Meditation as well, right? And back in 2006, or starting around 2006, I started using these CDs and others, right, that are not shown here. But I started using the CDs from Dr. Jeffrey Thompson that does Brainwave Entrainment. And so, like I said, the universe is based off of vibration and frequency. And just like you have geometry in your tables, chairs, and the physical spatial environment, the spatial geometry, right? Including circles and things that are round and things that are a volume, right? All of the volumes and all of the circles and squares and everything spatial is made up of a geometry that underlies it. So the physical geometry is made up of a sonic geometry, the geometry of sound. And so we call that cymatics, and that is the pattern of sounds that create and manifest a phenomena. And in this case, it manifests the phenomena of the third dimensional, third density experience in existence. So when I listen to these CDs, then I go into different brainwave states. And science has shown it takes about 7 minutes to get in sync and to get the brain in sync with certain frequencies. So, for example, the alpha waves are associated with focus, concentration, relaxation, creativity, confidence, and learning. Beta waves are the one type of waves you want to avoid because that's a survival level, awake and alert type of brainwave, fight or flight. You see that with negative emotions, and you see it programmed into TV programs and music, right? And so you have to be careful with the beta waves, but the other type of waves that we'll talk about here are the ones you want to tap into. Theta waves, for example, are associated with deep meditation, vivid dreams, intuition, subconscious alignment, higher emotional intelligence, visualization, and problem solving. And then when you get into the delta, which I don't have depicted here because I personally avoid delta right now because it'll put you in a real deep sleep and I can make you late to work. But it gives you the deepest meditation, the best sleep, gets you to super consciousness, rejuvenation, renewal, health, and restoration, and it gets you on the road to memory recall, right? But then we have gamma. Gamma has been studied in the laboratory in association with Buddhist monks when they put their brains up to an EEG machine, and they found that when they go into this deep meditation state, they reach a gamma level in their brain waves. And so that brain wave is associated with universal love, altruism, higher virtues, perception and consciousness, right? Sharper perception, sharper consciousness. You also get stronger short-term memory, and that short-term memory ability and facility is a baseline for enhancing long-term memory. You get better concentration on single tasks. So no multitasking superpowers here, but if you're trying to focus in on one task and do it extremely well to the highest level of quality, gamma is where you want to be because it's going to manifest that as well as a flow state. So when we look at athletes, musicians, and surgeons and other accomplished professionals and other people who are the elite in their work, they enter this gamma state, this flow state, where they're able to balance both the theta and the alpha waves, right? And so using a CD like this, and I have this Sony Walkman that I've had for over 20 years, you can use regular headphones with it, right? But the noise canceling over the ear headphones work best. I have a pair of those, but my wire is a little damaged right now, so I use the Apple EarPods, right? And so Basically, what they have seen in research, deep research, is that the delta gamma coupling and the theta gamma coupling both are associated with higher rates of intelligence. So, the bottom line for me was I started using these CDs around 2005, 2006, right? And it was an instrument in allowing me to evolve my intelligence and my mental capacity and abilities so that I was able to do IT work and software development work and other types of high intellectual work much better and with greater fluidity and better flow state, right? This here is Tibetan monks. It's a chant. So if you're dealing with trying to go to sleep, this is my alternative to a straight out delta sleep brainwave entrainment, because the Om sound works just as well. Now, this healing drum will also put you to sleep. It's from Africa, but it's also good for balancing the emotions. This is something that I had experimented with. Steve Harpin's Deep Theta 2.0. I didn't find it as effective as the original, the Theta meditation system from Dr. Jeffrey Thompson. This is another Tibetan meditation CD, by the way, and they're great for like just zoning out when you want to go to sleep at night, or when you're driving down the street in your car and you still got a CD player and you just want some nice chill music in the background as you focus on driving and you focus on your thoughts at the same time. And so basically I use these different types of beats and rhythms, right? No vocalizations, hardly, if at all. And I use these beats to actually go into flow states, to go into mental states, to retune and reorient the overall energetic frequency of my being so that I can align the sound geometry, the cymatic geometry underlying nature and existence with my overall being. And so, as it is Monday, October 23rd, 1 a.m., right? And I'm still in that heightened state, and that's why I'm doing the voiceover on this particular, recording. I am reminded that Blueprint for God Power Part 2 is dropping on the 29th, and I happen to be off on that day. So I'm ready for that. And Dr. B. Sirius, who is the master of cymatics and sound geometry, is going to be one of the main presenters in that particular conference. So I want to bring your awareness to those who have tapped in to this particular discussion about frequency and brainwave entrainment. It's very effective. It actually does work. And again, if you have the right equipment, you can put it to excellent use. And so I try to keep a nice CD loaded in the cartridge in my CD player in my car, and then I like to keep all of my CDs together in a Case Logic, you might carrying case, zipper pouch, right? And then, that just keeps them all together. And then I got my 20-year-old Sony Walkman, which is running strong, even though I dropped it, but I repaired it and it still is hanging tight. And then I got my Apple EarPods over there, right? And they work extremely well. So thank you for tuning in and listening to this and understanding a different way that you can actually try to shift the mental state in a higher level, higher vibration, and higher frequency using a tool like sound that is a great shortcut over reading hundreds of books to try to figure out how to meditate just the right way. And so this was my secret for many years, and now the secret is yours, and how you can actually retune the mental sphere, the mental space. And again, it takes a couple of weeks, it takes a couple of months, but when it starts to kick in, your whole brain starts to shift. And brainwave entrainment, where your brain waves actually synchronize to the sound that it hears because you're feeding your brain quality sound, is an actual proven science. So again, I hope this is valuable to you. And if you have more questions about any of this, feel free to drop a question in the comments.